Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Okay, so these are collective readings. They're not going to resonate with everybody, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so what does my collective need to know today? Again, I'd like to thank you all for your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscriptions to my channel. It really helps my channel to grow, gets my messages out there to a wider audience and to anyone who might need to hear them. Okay, so what does my collective need to know? Okay. Some sort of bad news, okay? 8 of Wands in reverse, some sort of bad news. Someone is about to receive some sort of bad news. 8 of Wands in reverse. And then we have like a King of Pentacles in reverse. Something surrounding a bank. This could be somebody who deposited some sort of money into their bank account. 6 of Cups. We've got time is running out for them. So this could do with somebody who had some sort of connections to somebody who worked in a bank, okay? Maybe some sort of fraudulent activity. They could have deposited some money into their bank account, what was not theirs, and they're going to receive some sort of bad news surrounding their bank account. That time is running out. Okay, so let's go into the Kipper deck. 8 of Wands in reverse, some bad news. The King of Pentacles in reverse, like the banker card. Somebody who could have worked in a bank at some point, involved in some sort of fraudulent activity. Time is running out. Somebody could have took hold of some money and deposited some money into their bank account. Distant horizons. Okay, so this could be like even some sort of overseas accounts. I've got community in reverse. So community of people, we've got some sort of bad news. Okay, community of people, bad news, coming on the distant horizon surrounding bank accounts. Time is running out. And they're going to go back into poverty. Okay, we've got bad health in reverse. They could have tried to, a judge, a corrupt official, and we've got not hiring, despair in reverse. And we've got change, yeah, there's going to be a change. They're going to go to prison, maybe with an ex, okay, with an ex. Wow, okay. A lot of people are going to be losing their job. They're going to be expecting some sort of bad news. There's going to be a change. Some people are going to get locked up in prison. A community of people, okay. A community of people. There's going to be a change surrounding bank accounts, okay. They're going to get pushed back into poverty. Okay, I've just clicked. I've not had a brew for ages either. So it's just clicked. That's confirmation. A community of people is going to get bad news. Time is running on out, okay? They're going to get popped up. Any corrupt law officials, underhanded behaviour, who took some sort of money under the table, they're getting locked up. She's getting locked up. Okay, mature woman in reverse. Husband, quite possibly mature man in reverse, okay? Mentally immature. They're getting some sort of news, alright? Message of concern. They're very concerned. Look, we've got privileged lady in reverse. They're losing all the privileges. They've been depositing some sort of money into a bank account. We've got message and we've got coffin. There's an ending. There's an ending to this situation. Corrupt law officials have been involved, but obviously, and then we've got marriage in reverse. So either this couple, we've got courtship in reverse, right? So this mature woman and this mature man, they're not actually together, but they've got some sort of connections in this local community. We've got marriage in reverse. Both of them have been divorced before, and we have privileged lady in reverse. Both of them is linking to family, okay? So linking to this masculine or feminine's family. I don't know why they all flipped. Linking to masculine or feminine's family, okay? They could live inside the local community, this family, and outside with it coming in reverse. So some of them, Don't know why some of them are flipped over. So some of them, we've got wealthy man in reverse. Oh, lordy, lordy. They're going to lose all their privileges. They're very concerned. Yeah, it's coming to light. They're going to get pushed back into poverty. They took great fortune. Okay? This main male in reverse. So, they've all done a lot of bad things. Let me tell you that. They've done a lot of bad things. A lot of really bad things. A high honour in reverse. And then we've got occupation, fabrication, alright? Maybe fabrication of legal documentations with corrupt law, who are all going to lose their job in some sort of corrupt courthouse, corrupt law. They're all going to lose their job. Yeah, it's going to be an ending for them. So they're going to lose their jobs. There's something surrounding, bad news is coming to them on a distant horizon, surrounding their bank accounts, okay? Time is running out. Community of people connected to this family, inside the community and outside the community. They've took a substantial large amount of money, okay? They're very concerned about this coming to light because they've left this masculine or feminine in absolute poverty, okay? They put a lot of work in behind the scenes to keep hold of this money. Then we've got house in reverse and male female in reverse. They're going to lose their houses, their homes, any properties they have bought with this stolen money. They're losing it all. Yeah, there's going to be an ending. There's going to be an ending. And we've got toil and labour, bad health, okay? And then we've got coffin. They was working with corrupt hospital staff to poison this masculine or feminine to death. It was messaging. And then we got child. And then bad health. So it's even messaging child or children surrounding maybe one of their own parents' bad health. Playing a lot of mind games. And we've got great fortune because they took hold of some sort of great fortune. So there was even playing mind games. Okay. With the child or children. And a lot of people inside this community and outside this community linking to this family, and time is running on out. They're being depositing checks into their bank accounts and splitting money amongst themselves. Here's the check. Here's the great fortune. Alright. A lot of falsified. They're losing the house. They're losing. Yeah, the journey's coming to an end. Look, false, fake. They're all being false. Maybe corrupt judges, corrupt lawyers, corrupt solicitors, corrupt attorney, a false power of attorney. They're all losing the job. They are. They are. They are losing the jobs. They are losing. Everyone's losing everything. The money's coming back to the rightful person. So maybe the bank and these good law officials, they're retrieving it all. They're retrieving it all to give it back to the rightful person because it was their gift. It was their gift. But we've got toil and labour, a message in reverse, and then sudden wealth in reverse. They wanted to keep it for themselves, this family, okay, who live inside the local hometown and community and outside the local hometown and community. They're all joining together. They're all high on it in reverse. We've got a stitch up with this occupation. Maybe they could have tried to steal somebody else's work, like maybe plagiarism. But there's a stitch up. There's a do-over. They've done this masculine or feminine over many a times, and they've done other people over many a times. And there's bad news, and bank accounts are under investigation. They've even been lying to child or children, okay? They've been fake and false to child and children. So these family members around them, they've all been fake and false. We've got theft in reverse to cover up this theft. So the child or children are surrounded, like child in reverse. The children have had their full world flipped upside down surrounding this money and tampered legal documentation, messaging child or children, your mum or your dad or whoever, they're not very well, or the nutters. And then we've got money, child in reverse, and then we've got lovers, and we've got false person. So this could be a couple who's also involved in lying in the courtroom. They've also been fake and false. They could have had some sort of sexual connection to somebody who worked in the courtroom. They could have had a sexual connection to somebody who worked in the courtroom, and they could have been actually giving out some sort of sexual favours to people who work within law, the corrupt law, okay, 10-10. And we've got bad health in the bed, some corrupt hospital staff, like say NHS for example, alright? They was messaging each other, toiling in labour, working hard behind the scenes to get this masculine or feminine poisoned to death, okay? Fabricated legal documentation, because they wanted this money, you see. There was all promise to cut. But time's running out. The money's coming back to the rightful person, and they're absolutely furious because they're going to get pushed back into poverty. They really thought they was going to get away with it because they had corrupt law and corrupt hospital staff in their pockets. We've got 60 to 65. They took money to pay off debts. They took money to pay off their debts. They took money to pay off their bloody debts. So they bought houses or paid off the mortgage or paid off the rent in full, the mortgage off in full, bought properties, shopping sprees with stolen money. So they've all been going on shopping sprees. These corrupt law officials, corrupt hospital staff, they're all getting fired for cover-ups and taking money under the table. Karmic friends are involved. They've all got cars and bikes with stolen money. Alright, they've got cars and bikes with stolen money. Freemasons, Brotherhood, BLOOD, Luciferians. So this is why corrupt law have got away with it. Because the Freemasons have this mentality that no matter what they do, I'm big man, and I'm going to get away with it. What you going to do? I'm corrupt law, I'm corrupt medical staff. I can do what I want. If I want to take everything of yours, I will do. What you going to do about it? So they've been helping pure evil family members, and pure evil family members are being exposed. We've got Death Hex backfired. Now Grim Reaper is coming for them. They've been falsifying fake medicines containing harmful ingredients to try to medicate this masculine or feminine, okay? Attempted murder. They've done mental magic, so then this masculine or feminine appears to be mental, so they can go, look, they're mental, we should have all this money. They're mental. They should never have their own money. They're mental. But these are fucking mental oriental. Trying to stop you from testifying because they're all in bed with one another. They've done voodoo, hoodoo, root work. Okay? They've done voodoo, hoodoo, root work. It's a criminal enterprise. Black collar crimes because the judge is well connected. Theft to money laundering. Okay? They're going to be exposed. Reactive abuse. So, and then we've got IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress, recklessly causing another to suffer. So they've took this, okay, and they've made this masculine or feminine suffer, and then they could have took control of child or children and said to child or children, oh, they're really poorly, and tried to poison one of the parents to death and just lied to the children in order to cover up. So the child or children are in actual danger surrounding these people because they're money power hungry and have got hold of a lot of money, and they're willing to do anything to keep it, and they don't want it coming to light that they're going to be pushed back into poverty. It's sickening. Informant in group chat, video chat, undercover, trying to silence you and others. Then we've got their mother. So someone in this connection, their mother is involved. They worked with dark spirits, now they've been haunted 24/7. We've got incestuous sex cult. So a lot of these people are like incestuous type of family members where they will let wrong shit happen to their own child or children and either join in or turn a blind eye. It's gonna hit worldwide news. they've been doing love spells, okay? They've got an identity crisis, so they tried to take on this masculine or feminine's identity as their own, so there's identity theft, okay? Again, it could be some sort of plagiarism involved, identity theft, a forced power of attorney, conservatorship to take hold of this money and then label this masculine or feminine as bad health because they was courting or dating somebody who worked within hospital, okay? And look, we've got false person and message. So they was courting or dating somebody who works within the hospitals, okay? To get this job done is what I'm getting. Look, maybe there's a couple of people who's been courting or dating because, like I say, they're all in bed with each other. So we've got corrupt, maybe lawyers, judges, solicitors, attorney, coppers, and then maybe even some corrupt military involved, alright? And they're all in bed with one another. They're all sick as fuck in their head. They're all sick as fuck in their head. They're all sick as fuck in their head. We've got death, coffin in reverse. They tried to bump this masculine or feminine off because they wanted to keep all this money. So they can go splash spend, shopping sprees, cars, bikes, houses, homes, flats or apartments and piss it all up the wall, 1616, and party and celebrate off the back of somebody else's wealth, what they took. Abuse of power, unjust advantage of individuals, organisations or governments. Murder plot exposed, and they was getting some sort of illegal protection. We've got raids, they're getting raided. We've got investigator has proof. Even someone or some people aged 85 to 90 was involved. We've got witness intimidation, harmed or threatened. So they could be doing this to child or children because there is child or children in this. They could have kidnapped child or children, alright, in order to take control of everything. And if masculine or feminine speaks out, then they are willing to harm child or children in this family. Oh, so this mature woman and mature man, this could be grandmother, grandfather, alright? We've got main male who's also involved. This could be uncle, alright? This could be father figure, alright? But this mature woman and mature man, they're not together is what I'm getting. So they want to be seen as head of their family, alright? But she's been divorced before, this mature woman in reverse, and this masculine mature man in reverse, he's been married before and divorced. So they're both, they just wanted to be seen as successful, and they just didn't want to be seen as a failure, but they're already a failure. It comes out in the cards, the wealthy man and privileged lady in reverse, and the high honour in reverse. They're a failure. They just wanted to be seen as rich and successful, and they just wanted to be seen as rich and successful. That's what it is. Clapped out clout seeker, okay? Oh, they're all narcissists. They're all narcissists, alright? They're all narcissistic. We've got black magic, backfired, 100,000, British, UK, and we've got red eye, evil eye. So they've all been sending this masculine or feminine a shit ton of black magic and quite possibly child or children, trying to bump this masculine or feminine off and quite possibly child or children, alright? Because they're very narcissistic, they're very toxic, they're very evil. Look, we've got identity theft, and look, they tried to end masculine or feminine and child or children to keep hold of this money because they're disgusting. They've left a trail of evidence. We've got identity theft, fraudulent practice of using another's name and personal information in order to obtain credit loans, used ID, birth certificate, social security number to open a bank account, all that. Twins are involved. Could be twin brothers, twin sisters, a fake twin, false twin flame, one of them, alright? And we've got corrupt judge, lawyer, solicitor and police. So we've got corrupt law all in bed with one another because obviously the Freemasons, darling. Freemasons do shit like this all the time, and because they're in this Masonic cult where they bump people off for their own money, they get away with it a lot. So they're linking to are doing this a lot. They've done this many times before, and then they've done it again to help this family, and then that's what's got them caught. And they're all losing everything, okay? Refusing to let you go, spiritually attacking you, obsessed with spell work. So they're refusing to let this masculine or feminine and their child or children have any sort of normal life. They're just launching all these spiritual attacks. This is why these Freemasons shouldn't be working in law and Eastern Stars. They shouldn't be working within law, okay? They shouldn't be working in these so-called power positions because they're absolute psychopaths. The Luciferians, the devil worshippers, and they think that they're above absolutely everyone, and they own everything in the world, and everyone should bow down to them because they're all narcissists and psychopaths, and they've all got a god complex. Hitman, hitwoman on the dark web, so there's multiple attempted murders quite possibly on this masculine or feminine who they've stolen from, and child or children, and poisoning involved, because they don't want to get put back into poverty, you see, and a community of people have been receiving gifts. They've been taking gifts, money, drugs, cars, bikes, money towards their rent, holidays, okay, a lavish life. Oh, Jesus Christ, living a lavish life there. And then we've got coughing like in reverse, and then we've got sudden wealth. They've probably done some sort of inheritance or insurance job and done some sort of fake will. Alright, so then if there was to bump this masculine or feminine and child or children, they will receive money for that too. They're refusing to let this masculine or feminine's energy go. Alright, and then some of them, they are on their phones to prison pals talking about you. Took down a cult, coven, gang, some sort of accident. Maybe they want to make it look like an accident now. Look, murder plot. They want to make it look like an accident now. I don't know. They need to feed a screaming entity, and then we've got premeditated murder. False reports, false accusations, like a lot of premeditated murder, okay? Wow. And poison manipulation. Poison manipulation, venom manipulation, various toxins inflict negative effects upon the target to cause total paralysis or even kill someone outright. And because these Freemasons and Eastern Stars, stuff like that, they're all involved in doing shit to the spell work. That's all they do, all day, all night. Spell work, spell work, spell work, spell work. They're fucking nutters. And then they want people to bow down to them and friggin' respect them. The nutters, the absolute psychopaths, the narcissists. They perform satanic rituals, stop and block justice spells. These sick fucks will be on the news. They are on the edge. They thought you was an easy target, so they're all sick as fuck. Again, they're trying to silence you and others, okay? But again, this investigator has proof. Trying to silence you and others. False reports, okay? Probably gang stalking, because Freemasons, they like to gang stalk people to death. With the Eastern Stars, they always do. They gang stalk people everywhere. And I mean absolutely everywhere they go. You know, everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. It's like everywhere you go, always take a gang stalker with you. Because they gang stalk people to death, alright? And then they want to make out like people are nutters, alright? It's all in the red, gaslight, a lot of psychological abuse, a lot of psychological warfare, and causing a lot of emotional distress. Current Freemason, judging Freemason law and all that, they could have said, masculine or feminine is incompetent. They can't handle their own money. So we'll take that and split it amongst ourselves, alright? And they have. And they have. 24. And they have. People aged 30 to 35 involved. People aged 40 to 45. People aged 65 to 70. Large group conspiring against you. Oh look, claimed you passed to claim inheritance. So they're linking to an inheritance and insurance jobs, so they'll sit there and they'll do these fake wills Alright, if anything was to happen, like at one point, my dad said, am I next to kin? Do you know, to poison me and like sacrifice me and my kids multiple times, along with fucking all family, ex-friends, okay, kids' family. My dad was like, am I next to kin? After poisoning me and rallying me down to the solicitors and corrupt law in local hometown, doing hair, blood and nail rituals and voodoo dolls and poisoning, more gang stalking, more ritual abuse, and obviously there's like big men involved in it and all, and they're just like bang, bang, bang on your body spiritually bullying and spiritually battering. Alright, look, rituals to abuse you, can't make it up. Rituals to abuse you, cold calculated killers linking to white collar crime, security fraud, cybercrime, bribery, money laundering and embezzlement, and then shut up spells. And then racketeering, dishonest and fraudulent business dealings, commercial profit, extortion and bribery, linking to corrupt doctors, corrupt nurses, corrupt psychiatrists, giving wrongful medication, tampering with medical documentation, and giving poisonous mental health tablets in order to poison somebody to death. And I've had this done to me multiple times. 26. They even gave me not just one to kill me off where I was on the floor and I couldn't even breathe and I was dying for way over 12 hours, and then they tried to force me to have the same medication again the next day to finish the job off. They give me a capsule when I needed antibiotics. They give me a capsule made out like it was antibiotics, but they emptied the capsule out and put somebody else's blood in there, and it had like 3 bugs in with 3 legs at each side, see-through bugs. They made out like it was antibiotic, and then I spewed it up in the sink, and the sink was just full of blood, and then I seen the see-through bugs with 3 legs at each side, and I was just thinking, you sick fucks, because all they've been doing is just torturing me throughout my full life, my family and exes and ex-friends, and then they all just let me join in, let me get some of this, and they're just sick as fuck. They need life in prison. We've got a mother involved, okay, caught in a web of lies, hired a hitman on the dark web, and we've got insurance scam. And then we've got judge and investigation, and they've all been pulling money from accounts. They've all been pulling money. Weaker, racketeer, influence and corrupt organisations, and then we've got illegal experiment, unethical human experimentation. So they've just been doing all these rituals, poisoning, putting it out, because these sick government people, they want to experiment, okay? So basically, a father figure or a mother figure sold their own child out to have all these sick rituals and illegal experiments done on them because they was desperate for fucking money. Because they was desperate, so a family sold one of their own family members out. Okay, so this could be a family where some of them, they act really posh. You know what I mean? Look really posh, I'm really posh, they're only posh, some of them, and they're only privileged, some of them, because they've sold one of their own family members out to get ritualistically abused, poisoned and murdered, and just want to see their own family members squirming. This is what I'm getting, squirming. Used your ID to get a car on credit. So the full-on done a stolen identity. This could be why they're having some sort of identity crisis, because they've posed to be this masculine or feminine for so long, they don't know who they are anymore. They've told that many lies, they can't keep up with them all. They've found that many false reports that how they're supposed to get rid of all that. And they've also been giving gifts out to people inside the community, outside the community where these other family members live. Money, gifts of money to pop this masculine or feminine, and maybe quite possibly child or children. They thought they would get away with what they've done because they think they're pretty, okay? So some of them think they're really pretty and they can get away with what they've done, but it doesn't matter. A pretty face, ugly heart, okay? It doesn't matter. They may be seen as beautiful on the outside, but they're always going to have an ugly heart, an ugly soul, okay, what's left of the fucking souls, and a very ugly spirit. This is why they have to feel like they need to do these evil acts and evil deeds to innocent people, because it's just what they get off on. They get off on it. Getting life in prison for sinister crimes. They're all going to get life in prison. Every single one of them, okay? And then they trying to fight to take your identity crisis. So they try to fight like mad, okay, against this masculine or feminine to take their full identity off them. So they're having an identity crisis, and then what I'm getting is this family who live inside the local community and outside the local community. There's been a lot of bullying, and it's, whatever they are as people, they're absolutely spectacular. They're really nice people, and the one who they've been doing it to, their victim, they're the bad one. They're the bad one, okay? But it's not, it's them. Because they victimise this masculine or feminine throughout their full life. Then we've got some sort of flight attendant tickets. So someone's been flying on an hour, and they've just been dreaming, living in dream world, 9 of Cups, about mentally abusing, okay? Mentally abusing. They've just been mentally abusing. Ace of Cups, they love it. Psychological abuse, psychological warfare, mental magic. And then they try to say that this masculine or feminine has a poor mentality. Because that's what they try to say. It's coming to light that they try to say that this masculine or feminine has a poor mentality. But it's all these. Because the narcissists, the psychopaths, they've got a very, very heavy hearts. And they've done this to somebody who's innocent. And they tried to block justice. Because they want to go to like Greece or Rome or Paris or Tenerife, and they want to, with the 8 of Swords, have this masculine or feminine looked at like they're something. This masculine or feminine has cried, oh, they've done this too, has cried and fought so many battles on their own. They've fought so many battles on their own. While these fools just think that they can trample all over this masculine or feminine and treat them like pure shit. Okay? Because someone wants to be seen as big man, alright? Someone wants to be seen as big man. King of Wands. There could be Leo, Sagittarius or Aries involved, who's done this to their own family member because they want to be seen as big man. They want to trample all over this masculine or feminine, so they've probably done this to this masculine or feminine throughout their full life. There's a lot of spiritual bullies. There's a lot of nasty, evil family members. That's the truth. And one of these has just been propping himself up at a bar. Alright? And anyone who wants to point the finger and have their input and look down on this masculine or feminine, they can't make it up, look. Anyone who wants to point a finger and have their input and look down on this masculine or feminine, because the narcissist, the psychopaths, and they full on be battling against this masculine or feminine to take their full identity with a community of people, alright, because they wanted to come out of poverty, alright, and they've left this masculine or feminine with absolutely nothing. A lot of psychological abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. Anyone who wants to point a finger, alright, and we will play tug of war with this masculine or feminine's identity, and we'll just rip the full identity, full life, their wealth, and we'll just rip it off them while we prop ourselves up at a bar, have some drinks, and do nothing but play games. And there's a lot of stolen identity online also. Stolen identity online. This cybercrime, fake accounts, anyone who wants to have their input. I don't like that they're speaking out. Shut the fuck up spell. Shut the fuck up spell. Shut the fuck up spell. There's been multiple shut the fuck up spells done. Let me tell you that. Shut the fuck up spell. Where they're trying to rag this masculine or feminine's full life off them, okay? Maybe even child or children just tugged off them, their wealth just tugged off them, okay? And they just dream, like, maybe they've even been doing dream magic, but there's a lot of psychological warfare, okay, mental magic, and MK Ultra mind control. So they'd be mind controlling everybody. Oh look, I've picked up some other bloody cards from here, but look, it's all been orchestrated with a corrupt solicitor, attorney, alright, because maybe they wanted to keep all of this money so they could get involved in some sort of drugs trafficking. Yeah, they was investing in some sort of drugs trafficking, and they've been getting crystal ball readings to watch this masculine or feminine. 10 of Swords. So they do some sort of hexing and backstabbing, and everyone just goes in for a backstab and backstab and backstab and hex and backstab and backstab, and everyone, come on, you go in for a backstab, you do a hex, you do this spell, you do that spell, you say this, you say that, you bully them online, you do this, you do that, and because we're Freemasons, we'll get away with it, and then we'll do a crystal ball reading, yeah? Or we keep trampling all over this masculine or feminine, because Ace of Cups, they love to. Here's a gang stalking. Here's a gang stalking. They love to trample all over people, gang stalk them, okay, whip their child or children from them, 3 of Swords, break their hearts so they can catch a flight ticket, and take this masculine's dreams, goals, identity, fucking full life away from them. The dreams, the goals, their ideas, their identity. And they invested in paid for gang stalking. It was all orchestrated. And while they're flying on off, okay, just trying to get child or children beaten or ended. They're flying off on holiday, and then what they're trying to do is have something happen to child or children, and then they fly off on holiday, alright, they catch a flight, and then anyone, I'm big man, you're this, you're that, you're this, come on everyone, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, when it's fucking them sick fucks, so they victimise this masculine or feminine, like fuck Ace of Swords, that's the truth, they're absolute fools, look at them, they just want to act like Billy Big Balls, darling, look, they're very toxic, look, they're all going down, they are, they are. They're all in bed with each other, like they've been buying each other flowers. Look, we've got happiness in reverse. 10 of Pentacles. They took someone else's full life. They took the child, the children, and this generational wealth. We've got 9 of Pentacles, because they wanted to get on the property ladder, and they wanted to go on up in the world. So they have been buying houses or homes, alright, and it's all been orchestrated. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're this. You do this spell work there, you do that spell work, you do the gang stalking, you falsify legal documentations, you do this, you put the hits out, okay, you do this, you do that, you fabricate legal documentation, and you lie on earth, and look, 7 of Swords and the Death card. So they've been sneaking around, trying to end this masculine or feminine constantly. They've been shaking hands, you see. They've got lack of compassion, lack of empathy, lack of remorse while they betrayed this masculine or feminine, and with the 5 of Wands, they run them through the mill. They run their names through the mill. They're very sneaky, very deceptive. They was just dreaming about being really mean with the 4 of Pentacles, taking this masculine or feminine online with these cyber crimes, switching from accounts to accounts, okay, so there could be like corrupt military involved, and their missus, or what have you, and anyone who they're dating on the side. You join in, you have your input, you do some spell work, you do this, and I'll buy you some gifts, alright, because I don't want to, playing games, look. Playing games, and you do this, you do that, you do some gang stalking, you say this to them online, alright, you set up account and go, the fuck you fucking talking about, you. Oh, they're fucking disgusting. They're absolutely vile. They're absolutely vile. They chose to serve darkness, okay? They have BLOOD on their hands. What they have done is heartbreaking. We did get the fire sword. And gut-wrenching, extremely unpleasant and upsetting. Happy, like, they're not happy on the inside though. They're miserable, they're dark. They chose to serve darkness. They're miserable, they're dark, they're not happy in their own lives, but yet they want to have big opinions, okay, like devil worshippers, Luciferians, alright? The ones who chose to serve darkness, they want to have their input. Big opinions, you can't make it up, look. Here we got an attorney, we had a lawyer there, solicitor, attorney or a lawyer or whatever, a Luciferian, Billy Big Balls, Ace of Swords, that's the truth, who wants to be seen as well strong, but they are strongly under judgment, okay? There's an ending coming for them. Look, the devil is ready to collect them. The devil is ready to collect them. The devil is ready to collect them. Oh, wow. Wow. For trampling all over somebody in the courtroom for the love of money, but was never even theirs to take in the first place. So there was trampling all over this masculine or feminine, alright, and the devil's ready to collect, look. Trampled all over this masculine or feminine in the courtroom because they're a Luciferian and they think that they can get away with everything, and they've got like Azrael or they've got the Grim Reaper, just trampling all over this masculine or feminine in the courtroom, speaking down to them, talking down to them, backstabbing them, betraying them, all for the love of money what was never even theirs to take anyways. Murder video uploaded to the dark web. That's what they wanted. They are surrounded by undercovers. They've been paying everybody hush hush money. The sister. This could be a half sister, a foster sister, an adopted sister, ex's sister. So many getting arrested for these crimes. So yeah, this could be an ex's sister, a step-sister, a foster sister, an adopted sister, something like that. They're all going to prison. They wanted this masculine or feminine to join the dark side with them. They want power and dominion over you, and even people aged 75 to 80 has been involved, and they've got offshore overseas accounts, and they've been buying some sort of antiques. It could be an antique dealer, or they've been buying antiques, and they've been trying to bump this masculine or feminine up just so they can keep hold of a fucking vase, what they bought. Because I'm seeing like a vase, or a vase, whatever you want to call them. I say vase usually, but a lot of people say vase, don't they? But vase rhymes with phase, and they're never phased. They don't care. They're that arrogant, they're that psychopathic, they're that narcissistic. They really don't care who they trample all over and hurt, as long as they, get the money what was never even theirs in the first place, and I'm getting trampled all over the wrong person. But they don't care if these people are innocent. They really don't care. They're very, 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 very mean. Want it to be this masculine or feminine's handler. I'll handle him. I'll sort it. We've got this mature woman who's mentally immature and mentally retarded. We've got matriarch, okay? A woman who is head of a family, tribe or an organisation. So this could be like a mother figure or ex's mother or something like that. Tried to get this masculine or feminine wrongfully locked up, but they're linking to other cold cases that are being solved. So they're all been linking to other cold cases that are being solved. Copy of signature to claim assets, money. They're involved in a lot of inheritance and insurance jobs and poisoning people to death. They're very, very poisonous. because they've got people who work in all areas, alright, they poison people to death. The snake is devouring them, coiling round them. So they've got, the devil's ready to collect, and like, they've been serving like the snake, and the snake is coiling round them. The snake is devouring them, and it's coiling round them and all. Dirty law officials paid under the table. And we've got satanic rituals, Baphomet rituals, conjuring demons, devils. So they've been ritually abusing this masculine or feminine, going, call him a nutter, call him a nutter, call him a nutter. And if this masculine or feminine speaks out, they launch a shut the fuck up spell, because there's corrupt judge, lawyer, solicitor, police, and like attorney. And they're invading this masculine or feminine's privacy. So there could be cameras or listening devices surrounding their home environment and hacking their accounts, like their email address, their social media, okay, just to see who masculine or feminine is messaging or anything like that, because then they're going to come for them, they're going to trample all over them, they're going to gang stalk them, they're going to poison them, they're going to ritually abuse them or pay money under the table to get this masculine or feminine to turn against them. So they're using this money to do very evil things. They've got the Chariot card and the Ten of Cups. They just want to take hold of. They have, like, they took hold of the child or children. They want to take hold of this masculine or feminine's happiness, and they feel that they have a right to say when this masculine or feminine can be happy and when they can't be happy, and if they're allowed to talk to anybody, or if they're allowed to go out here, or they want some sort of 46, some sort of recognition. It's like a handler or a force power of attorney, or because they didn't want this masculine or feminine to be in this Ten of Cups energy and like this Ten of Pentacles energy. They really didn't. So they took everything. They took child or children. They took the money. Okay. Some of it's been spent on drugs trafficking. Some of it's been spent on orchestrated gang stalking. A lot's been spent on ritualistic abuse, paying people to do spell work. We've got High Priestess. Could be Pisces involved. Could be Cancer involved. We've got like somebody who loves to take control and handle some sort of people's stardom or fame, or somebody who loves to take control of people's wealth, people's happiness. Okay, yeah. Somebody who's just heartless is what I'm getting. Look, they want to keep it a secret because they love to be working in the shadows. They love to be working in the shadows. It's like an attorney, a lawyer, solicitor, judge. They love to be working in the shadows. They love to be working in the darkness. They could have Greco like Rome or something like that. Whatever, however you say it. They could be very much into like Greece or Greek stuff. They could have gone to Greece. They could have gone to Rome. Greece, Rome. Maybe even linking to the bloody Vatican. Greece, Rome, Vatican. Quite possibly. Some of these people, or one of these people, fake name on bank account. They will try to plead insanity. Hitman, going to try to plead insanity. We've got corrupt nurse, corrupt healthcare worker, and this doctor. They're going to try and plead insanity to try and get a lesser sentence. They could be on the phone to their lawyers or solicitors. Okay. They could be on their phones to lawyers or solicitors. There's so much dark energy work, it's unfucking believable. Private relationship in reverse, so they was all in like meeting on up, okay? They was all discussing who gets what. We got check yourself, okay, cashing checks. So this could be why it's time's running on out. And they could have somebody who was linking to a bank, somebody who used to work in a bank. Court look. And then a lot of them have been spending this money on sex workers. So they robbed the life out of somebody just to get their wicked way. So a lot of these have spent this money on sex workers. Wow. 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 And everyone who was involved, who was even married, in a courtship dating, in a relationship, they've all been cheating on each other because they've got that hold of that much money. They've just been going to strippers, sex workers, everyone. They've just been going to hookers, strippers, sex workers. Everyone's been cheating on everybody. It's because the narcissists and the psychopaths, they've got no love in the heart. They don't love the partners. They don't know what love is. They're too dark to want to love anybody. They go for someone who's got a bit of light, okay? To suck that light from them. That's the type of people they go for. Anyone who's got some sort of light, they go for, a lot of them can go for like good people and they just do them over. Because, well, there's some sort of like military or corrupt law. You know what I mean? And they've been spending it all on sex workers, strippers, hookers. So a lot of this money's been getting lined in hookers and strippers' pockets and sex workers and buying videos and all this. So someone's setting the record straight. The situation's about to explode. Hotel, motel, suite, business, pleasure. They've been getting rooms with these sex workers behind the scenes, okay, hookers, strippers, behind their like wives or husbands' backs because there is some sort of married couple involved, and then courtships, dating, love relationships. They've all been slamming each other. They've all been meeting up, all of them. The women will be sat at home or what have you, but I'm just off out with the lads for a few drinks and they're just smashing hookers. They're like hiring hotels or motels and stuff like that. Someone's been getting recorded though, going in and out of maybe a sex shop or in and out of a hotel, motel, and in and out of flying abroad and then checking on it in here. It's a copycat, it's plagiarism. There is some plagiarism involved. They've got run away in reverse, but they can't get away with it. They're all haters. They all hate and they're all angry with this masculine and feminine. Even their fake friends. And they've stirred up so much drama and apparently they're depressed. So now they're going to try and plead insanity. They just wanted to fulfill a fantasy, but they didn't know. They were surrounded by undercovers. They're all turning on each other. They've been passing guns around, okay? Fake court proceedings to create diversions and distractions. Thank God to these good law officials. Thank God to the good law officials. Thank God to the good law officials. Thank God, innit? Paying people to verbally abuse you. So this could be in the streets, online. And again, trying to fight to take this masculine or feminine's full identity and full life. And death hex backfired again. Then, because I said something about like Rome or maybe Vatican or maybe even some sort of church, we've got false prophets, fake readers. So some of these people can be fake tarot readers, okay? They'll just flip a couple of cards and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just chat shit, let me tell you that. Because there's a lot of people out there who go buy a pack of cards and they've not even been gifted. They've not. So they just think they have. They think they have, but they've not. They're not. And then a lot of them, they'll just use whatever gifts they did have to serve the darkness and do evil acts and evil deeds because they get jealous of other people's wealth or work, and then they want to take it, the full persona and the full personality, and they're like, she's this, he's this, they're this, they're that, they're this, everyone get in and get on the gang stalk, and they're this, that, and it's just absolutely atrocious. But again, they've all been smashing each other. One in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out. So one of these fake friends, one in, one out. You in? Yeah. Oh look, here we go. Told I knew there was good law officials. Thank God for the good law officials. They're the real high honour. Okay? They're the real ones. 54. The one who the Most High adores. Or should I say adore, because it rounded with 54, didn't it? It rounded. So they are the good officials, and they end up getting a bad rep because of all these corrupt motherfuckers. They really do. They really do. So we got a brother, so brother is involved. It's could be this brother, or it could be like an ex's brother, but he's like a twins, isn't he? But then it could be like twin brothers, or a false twin flame, a fake twin flame, a fallen twin flame, an ex-flame. So take what resonates with that twins and a brother. They came for the wrong one because they thought they could just trample over. Look, spell work was not working fast enough, so paid for a hit on you. So like these death hexes and it wasn't working fast enough, so they thought, oh fuck that, I'm gonna get a gun, I'm gonna get Hitman, I'm gonna do this, and they've been passing guns around like fuck. And they thought the devil liked them. No, darling, the devil's ready to collect. Like I say, the devil is ready to collect. The good law is closing in on them. Archangel Michael is closing in on them. The devil's closing in on them. The what? But they have been working with devils and demons, darlings. So they're just gonna look. They've all lied on earth. Of course they have. Do you expect a Luciferian and a Freemason to speak a word of truth in the courtroom? No, darling. They're never going to. Never. They just couldn't speak the truth to save their own soul is what I'm getting, but they're all soulless. They're all soulless. They're all heartless. They're all money power hungry. They're all egotistical. They're all arrogant pigs. They want your blessings, and we've got 15 to 20-year-olds involved. Trying to drive you insane, but it drove them themselves insane in the process. Power of attorney, making decisions on one's half. So they've deliberately tried to drive this masculine or feminine insane with robbing the life out of them and gaslighting them, psychological abuse, okay, with this power of attorney, making decisions on one behalf. Oh, they can't manage their own finances, can they? Come on, fake friends. And people in the local hometown, local community have all been appearing in the court and have all been slagging this masculine or feminine off. Well, I don't think he or she should get their money because, what? They've gone hard as fuck and they're all haters. So basically, family and a fake friends community, they're all a set of haters, corrupt law, but they don't even love themselves, alright? They've done everything they can to make this masculine or feminine pop on off. So it's like obviously this reactive abuse type of thing, because that's what narcissistic people do, alright? They've even been saying to child or children, call your mum or what have you, your dad or whatever, call him a nutter, call him a nutter, call him a nutter, with this trying to drive masculine or feminine insane. And they wanted fame for doing sick things to you, working with the spirit of rage, so we dare there, smear campaign, plan to discredit a public figure, false accusations. They've all been on video calls to each other. They've all been on video calls. They're having withdrawals from your energy. So these enemies, okay, they need victims. This is what it is. They always need innocent people to torture. They always do. They always do. That's what they get their kicks out on. But with this illegal experiment, obviously, they don't do this to evil people. They do this to people with good hearts. They do this because they love to inflict pain and emotional distress. It's already come out, hasn't it? Expose a full community. False accusations, corrupt psychiatrists, psychologists, because they're They wanted the money to spend it on sex workers, you see. Look, they was taking hush-hush money because they wanted to spend it on sex workers. Forgive me, spells. They can't even forgive themselves. And if I was one of them, I'd never be able to forgive myself. I'd rightfully so hate myself. Yeah, we got a lodge under investigation. Innocently torturing somebody, thinking it's funny, just because you hate the fact of them being happy and have a happy home life. So they've ruined a happy home. They've deliberately ruined a happy home. They have no compassion, no empathy, and no remorse, because these fake friends, there was always a secret hater, and they always wanted to ruin this happy home, and it was always jealous and copycat. There was always, these fake friends have always been copycats. The fakes, the frauds, and they've been battling to take this masculine off feminine full identity. Fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Out of people to cover the backs. Think about me, spells. Think of what I've done to ya. Think about what I've done to ya. Go on, think about what I've done to ya, and I'm getting away with it because I'm pretty. Because this is the energy what I'm getting. Think about what I've done to ya. I'll get away with it because I'm pretty. So someone who's using looks, but again, a pretty face is nothing if you've got an ugly heart. It really is nothing if you've got an ugly heart. So maybe this like feminine energy who's a Jezebel and thinks they're really pretty has just been smashing people and getting people who they're smashing and recruiting and hating on this masculine or feminine, doing this online bullying and reactive abuse, and everything going nutter, 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 because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, and I've been through it myself. Column nutter, because they took all the money to my fucking music. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. Oh, it's not even just music, it's my full work, all my studies, my full life. Everything's been ripped off me, and they've all split millions between themselves. They've been under investigation for years for multiple crimes against you. They're disgusting. Enemies getting raided. They're losing it all. People aged 50 to 55. They're going to get the teeth smashed in prison. They're going to need a dentist. They are murder pot experts and twins. Offshore overseas accounts. Wrongful imprisonment in reverse. So they was trying to set this masculine or feminine up for crimes. Okay, paying for dark spell work. It's a long, drawn out abuse, but then they're all having withdrawals from this masculine or feminine presence in their life because they very much enjoyed the feeling of happiness, what they brought. So I'm getting that this masculine or feminine is like very caring, and they know that, and because they're evil, it just got them hating. And maybe with this plagiarism, like, this copycat, this masculine or feminine always had good ideas, and they always wanted to have them ideas come from their fucking heads. So that's why they've been battling to take this masculine or feminine's full identity. And that's why they're going to get the teeth smashed. Maybe someone's going to get a broken foot in prison. You know what I mean? Maybe they're going to get their feet trampled on in prison. Maybe they're going to get stamped on in prison. We've got witness intimidation, blackmailing anyone they can. So the money's just gone to the heads, alright? This so-called illegal protection, what they was getting, it's all just gone to the heads. It's all just gone to the heads. It really has. And they've just got more and more evil, more and more evil, more and more evil, and more evil. That's why they're high honour in reverse, because they're just pure evil. They're just pure evil. Like my family and my ex's family and my ex-friends. They're all pure evil. Relatives from out of town involved in premeditated murder. Incubine or incubus, succubus, Jezebel lied on your name for fun. I knew there was a Jezebel. I'm prettier than them. Oh, I'm better looking than them. Oh, I'm all fucking buff and all that. I'm one of these military men. I'm all buff. I'm an incubus. I'm all buff. I could get away with what I want. I'm all buff. Arrogant, pig-headed. Okay, refuses to apologise for what they've done. They never apologise. These are the people who do not like to say, I'm really sorry for what I've done, or I'm real sorry I didn't know that, you know, it would upset you. So you will be contacted soon surrounding the case by undercovers. And then they are sick for black magic backfiring onto them, and we have got child abduction. Child abduction, grooming, blackmail, brainwashing, black magic, MK Ultra, mind control for money. Used your ID overseas to open an account in your name exposed. So they've used this masculine or feminine, they've just been battling against this masculine or feminine to overtake their full identity. And again, I've had this myself, like, the spiritually battling and everything, just constantly battling, competing against me to be me, which is just weird. They're not all there in the head. Signed a contract in BLOOD with the devil to come against you. Cobra, Luciferians, Freemasons, devil worshippers. Okay. Postal worker. Well, the devil is ready to collect. I did say that, did I? They took money to sit back and watch gossip. This is everybody. This is people in local hometown. Yeah, go on then, you take some money, you just sit back and watch all this go down and we'll just have a good gossip about it. Yeah, it's better than actual fucking TV, it's live action, it's real life, isn't it? Neighbours a lot. They took money to sit back and watch. So that all them are going to get sentenced and charged. Postal worker took mail for karmics to claim wealth for themselves. So they've been stealing mail and everything. They've been stealing mail. This is why they've took this masculine or feminine's ID to open a bank account, okay? And then somebody who works or has some sort of connections to a bank account, yeah? They've then been shifting it from account to account to account to account. They have never showed you any respect or love, but this is these family members, this is these friends, okay? Nicey to face, and going off and doing this sick shit. Mental magic backfired on the entire bloodline for generations and generations and generations and generations, and there was some sort of life insurance policy they can't cash in on, exposed and scared. Good law officials all over their sorry arses. Again, thank God for these good law officials. They will lose their law firm for the corruption, because the full law firm is just corrupt to the core. They never bring divine justice under Archangel Michael. So good law officials, good undercover investigator, good judge, alright? Good law officials all over their sorry asses. It's just shocking. Third house, communication, writing, speaking, research, teaching, public speaking. So, like I said, they've took all my research, everything, all my ideas, absolutely everything, poems, like the money to my music, do you know what I mean? Because celebrities are singing my music. And like I say, one what I just found out recently, the guy who sings it for me, Brucey, Street Side, it's gone and got platinum in the UK. And then I was searching earlier, right, just to have a quick look, see, and it says about the Angels and Demons one I wrote, it got US Billboard, hot rock and alternative songs, the song reached the top 10, and I just found that out recently, so one of my songs actually got in the top 10, yeah, so yeah, we've got communication, so they're trying to affect communication skills, or they don't want this masculine or feminine to be able to communicate with anyone, and if they have been communicating or messaging anybody, they've also been getting messaged to take some money under the table to turn a blind eye and join on in. And then we've got writing, so they could have took some written work, okay? Speaking. They could have even tried to take this masculine or feminine's voice. Yeah. They could have even tried to record this masculine or feminine's voice with some sort of voice app, okay? And then they've been posing to be this masculine or feminine. And, wow, yeah. Any research, what they've done, it's been taken, mine has. Teaching. A teacher could be involved. Public speaking. Somebody who's like speaking to the public. Someone who could be seen as like a local like lecturer or like a speaker, someone who speaks publicly, someone who's in the public eye, they could actually be involved in it. Or maybe they didn't want this masculine or feminine to be speaking out in the public eye about what they've been through because we've got to shut the fuck up spell. They want to end themselves after going end yourself spells have backfired times 100. You'll be moved and put into witness protection, waiting on a trial. Then we've got farmland, acres of land, barn, rural area, forestry. So they could have bought a farm, or they could have bought themselves acres of land, or a plot of land, or something like that. They could have been meeting in some sort of rural area, okay, in some sort of forestry, okay, out of the public eye. Something to do with maybe a park also. Then they got sloppy and left evidence all over the place. CCTV footage, call logs, messages found. So this could be why they was trying to meet in some sort of rural area, or maybe a park or some sort of forestry. And somebody's bought acres of land. Somebody could have bought a farm. Could be linked into a farmer. But yeah, somebody's bought like acres of land with the money. That's just disgusting, isn't it? It's disgusting. So someone's living a good life off the back of stolen money. But if there's like corrupt judge involved, they already have enough money. They already get paid enough money. They already get paid. Let's have a look. Judge went along with the lies for a bribe and clout. Fucking hell. Just as I'm talking about the judge, but let's just see how much is the judge paid in the UK, just for example. Starting around 100,000 for entry-level roles like district judges, and increases to over 200,000 for High Court judges and UK Supreme Court justices, which, that's their salary. Wow. But Crown Court or Circuit Judge is significantly more, moving up the salary scale. High Court Judge around 237,000 to 240,000 £40,000 plus a year. So that's a lot of money, innit? And you'd expect if somebody was getting paid that much, they'd be serving justice under Archangel Michael, but they don't. A lot of them, they don't. And obviously, they don't even care about Archangel Michael because they bow down to the devil. And they serve the devil. They serve the corruption, they serve evil, they serve toxicity, okay? So they very much enjoy torturing people with this emotional distress law. And again, they're all involved, these Freemasons and like Eastern Stars, in doing satanic rituals and like Baphomet rituals. Look, the cold-hearted, cold-blooded killers, psychopaths, sociopaths, paid neighbours to watch you and report back to them. And Judge went along with it all, okay? The magic isn't working anymore, furious and panic backfired. Wow, wow, wow. They're obsessed with taking your light and life, but this is what they're like. And because they're in these so-called power positions and these family members, they're cold-hearted serial killers. Corrupt doctors and nurses paid to poison you to death, okay? A deal with the devil never lasts. He's reaching for them. Grim Reaper's coming. Like I said, the devil's ready to collect them. And then some of them have got like a big, massive, long snake spirit coiling round them like a restrictor snake. Wow, wowie. Just shocking, innit? This is long reading. Shocking. Forged legal documents and changed medical records. I said that. And then we've got possessed by legions of demons, 72 or 66 legions. Osmodus. And then obviously we have got Incubus, Succubus and Jezebel. where they've been spending it on sex workers to feed their Jezebel, to feed their incubus, to feed their succubus demon. So they've just been feeding the devil and demon, but obviously if they're all Luciferians, and they're all like satanic or what have you, Baphomet energy, where they're very 3D, very chained to the mundane, they're just all demonically possessed. Then we got Baal on Lucifer, right? So they could be linking to, because they've got illegal protection, a secret society to carry all this sick shit on. 666 legions, each containing 6,666 demons. So they're all possessed by legions and legions and legions of demons, and then they just keep making deals with devils and demons, and they're just getting more and more possessed, and then they hate this masculine or feminine even more because they want to be this masculine or feminine, but they just can't. Yet they're battling and competing against this masculine or feminine for the full identity because they know they've got a very heavy, evil heart, and they wish that they could have emotional fulfillment. None of them are happy. None of them are happy. There is that song, money can buy you happiness. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a fancy car, I think it is. And it has. They've got cars, they've got bikes. They are all linking together, joining the dots, solve cold cases. So there is cold cases getting solved. Enemies all join forces to get you locked up to cover up. And then somebody's watching you and wants to date you for clout. We can do one. Because they're just clout seekers. All of them. They did not expect to see you get back up after that last attack. They didn't. Masonic Lodge has been investigated and raided for serious crimes. So maybe other people are starting to talk out or come forward, okay? Because somebody's talking out, or maybe someone else is coming forward. They thought they could outsmart you and set you up. But they're copying and pasting somebody else's work and full identity, so... But with these corrupt law officials, what I am getting is they're very good at setting people up for crimes they've not committed, and they've done this time and time before. Because they're a Luciferian, anyone who they see is a good person, they will instantly lock onto them, even these corrupt judges, and that's it. They'll start conjuring up demons, okay, conjuring up devil and all that, and sacrificing them. I mean, look, if you get summoned to court, summons, it's a summoning. They summon demons to you, a lot of them. A court summoning, you've been summoned to court. Here is your summoning to court to see these arrogant, pig-headed, okay, the corrupt law who refuse to apologise for what they've done, and we're going to summon you to court, and we're going to keep forging these legal documents, okay, changing your medical records, and we're going to keep pulling you up at court because they're all false reporting you, and we're going to keep slamming you around in this fucking court, in the prison, or trying to slam you around in hospital, slam you around here, slam you around there, because we refuse to give you justice, and we refuse to apologise for what we've done, because we think that we don't have to apologise to anybody. Found a gun which was meant to kill you, fingerprints, bank fraud, RICO investigation for years, cult member backed off after the last ritual backfired onto them. So there's cult and coven, but obviously Freemasons, it's a very large, worldwide, satanic cult. Oh yes it is. So they can even get the pals to come over from abroad, alright? They can even, because this is what I'm getting, get one of the pals to come over from abroad, okay, in order to sacrifice masculine or feminine, because they've got a poor heart, very poor heart, poor mind, poor heart, poor mind, yeah, 7 of Pentacles. I was pulling up chairs, maybe doing video calls, Oh, come over from New Zealand or Australia or something. Yeah, we'll put you up in a hotel or what have you. You can stay in one of these lodges over here and just get the job done for me, and then we'll fly you back out over there and not a trace of evidence. Look, we had it all mapped out. Meeting up in the lodge. Meeting on up in a fucking lodge. Had it all mapped out. Maybe having a fag, a cigar or something, and a drink. They're just evil, aren't they? So they've been meeting in a lodge, and this is what they do in their lodges. They'll have like certain type of rooms or something, where they'll all meet outside of the public eye. They'll perform satanic rituals in there. They'll even have, look, they're getting involved in human hunting parties. They always pay people for crystal ball readings. Anyone who really mean to, because they want to know. If this masculine or feminine's crying because they love it, they want to see this masculine or feminine crying. They want to see this masculine or feminine angry. They want to see this masculine or feminine explode. They want to see this masculine or feminine depressed. And like, this is why they've got very heavy hearts. Yeah, look. Death to happiness. Look. 4 of wands, death to happiness. And again, they've been catching flights. Maybe even getting like antiques, because there was an antique dealer at some point, wasn't there? Antiques delivered from abroad. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. They've been getting antiques delivered from abroad. Again, I did say vase or vase earlier, didn't I? Oh no. I'm bigger than you. I'm more stronger than you. I'm more powerful than you. And if I want to block justice, and I want to block your communications with anybody, okay, and I'll have my input, alright, and I'll start messaging anyone else, anyone who's got an interest, and go, oh look, she's this, she's that, she's this, she's that, she's this, she's that, she's this, gossip, lie, but we don't want this masculine, no one to love this masculine or feminine. It really means this masculine or feminine, okay, because their hearts are like this feather, and that's why they're all going fucking down. When it's coming back to the rightful person, okay. They just didn't want this masculine or feminine to get recognition for their own work as well, is what I'm getting. They really didn't. 7 of Swords, they were just sneaking around, look. 7 of Swords and 2 of Cups. Anyone who this masculine or feminine speaks to, they want to trample all over them too. That's the truth. Cause confusion. Like, very strong confusion. So maybe confusion magic. Oh, she's this, she's that. She's this, she's that. He's this, he's that. They're this, they're that. They're this, they're that. They're that, they're this. Alright. They're this, they're that. They're this, they're that. They're this, they're that. Yeah, they've got a very, very light heart. And these fools are constantly paying for crystal ball readings. Oh, they're all catching flights. Yeah. This could like be a story. This is like literally a story. Okay. It's just shocking. They just lock on to their targets and they don't let them have a minute's break from their rituals because they love to take the fruits, okay? So maybe even like child or children, but they think that they should have like a luxurious life. And some of these people are just paying for like really posh like foods. Alright, some of them, like these judges, there's a lot of them already had their own money, but again, they're not happy in their own life. They're only happy when they've got some hers hanging off their arm. More money, more hers. More money, more hers. Just fretting it away, propped up at a bar. More money, more hers. More money, more hers. Off the fucking tits. 4 of Swords, like isolation spells. So trying to keep or micromanage this masculine or feminine. Trying to keep this masculine or feminine on their own, playing games constantly. And every time they try and move forward, Two of Swords, they try and block any sort of forward movement. So they're deliberately trying to, look, chaos magic, trauma. They're traumatising this masculine or feminine to death. And then they watch from multiple accounts. Trying to keep them in like hermit mode. But like, look, you're this, you're that, I'm bigger than you. You've got big hefty fines coming, darling. You're losing your jobs. Your lodge is getting fucking raided. Your homes is getting sold. Ace of Pentacles. You're going to have to, darling. You're going to have to, sweetheart. They're going to have to sell the houses and homes. Okay. Compensation for what they've done to child or children by having their input and gaslighting child or children. Okay, and mentally abusing the child or children and playing games with the child or children because they want what? They want control. They want full control over this masculine or feminine and their child or children. They want to run the child or children through the mill too. And they want the child or children to become as unhappy as them sick fucks. Because they're just miserable bastards. Bully boys, I'm big, you're small. Okay, I'm gonna be right even though I'm wrong, and I'm never gonna apologise because I think I'm Billy Big Bollocks. And if I want to trample all over you and treat you like shit and chat shit about you to everyone in the local hometown and community and confuse them, I will. Because I'm confused about myself, alright? So I'm getting some of them are confused with their own sexuality. Some of them could be secretly gay or lesbian, but they like to sit there and act like Billy Big Man or what have you. So some of them are actually confused with their own sexuality. They don't know who they are, but that's because they've sold the soul. They don't know if they're straight, gay, lesbian. There could be a transsexual involved also. There could be a transsexual involved. And if there's like, one of the transsexuals who wants to be like a woman, and if they're doing this to a woman, they're pissed on off. Because this woman is a woman. Do you know what I mean? And if they're doing this to a man, and then there's like a woman who's going through what have you, they're pissed off that this man's been born with a dingling angly or something like that. Or if this masculine or feminine's like just sure about themselves, like their own sexuality, they're pissed on off. And then there could be like a fake friend, like who wants you to be gay or lesbian with them. And you won't be, and then they're getting mad and they're angry and they hate that you won't. Yeah. And it could be like, if this is happening to a woman, there could be like some sort of a gay guy bullying a woman. Or secretly gay, yeah, backstabbing a woman. But again, this is a collective reading. Because they want to have this masculine or feminine locked up. That's all it is. Mental prison in their mind, or a mental home, or locked up in prison for what they're doing. You know, this reactive abuse and like incitement type of energy. They've all just been sticking the boot in, do you know what I mean? Because they want this masculine or feminine's ideas, look. And then they want to trample all over them because that's what they've invested in. They've all been pulling up chairs, sitting around going, what we're going to do, yada yada. You do this, you do that. But undercover investigators, they're piecing the puzzles together because like I say, it's linking to other cold cases. And they're all just linking, and they're all just linking, and they're all just linking. And because there's money involved, and they think that they can get away with it, they've gone mad as fuck. And they've just brought a lot of chaos into a lot of people's lives. They love to traumatise people. The Five of Cups, because they've got like the lost souls. That's what it is. They could go and in the darkness, but they can't find their own soul. They're soulless. Five of Cups, a lost soul. this judges, the corrupt law, the soulless beings, because they've sold the souls to the devil. They've sold the bloody souls to the devil. All the Luciferians have. All of them. Eastern Stars, Freemasons, every single one of them have sold the soul to the devil. Because they want money, they want clout, they want fame, they want recognition. That's all it's about. Money, power, fame, mammon also. So Lucifer, mammon. But there's Baal, the Baal there. There's Osmodos. But they've got legions of demons inside of them. And they can't get them out. So that's why they end up conjuring demons and stuff like that to other people. Because they want everyone else to go under a major spiritual warfare. And if you mention Jesus in one of these courtrooms, or anything like that, it makes them cringe. A lot of these people cringe and shudder over the name Jesus Christ or Yeshua. A lot of them shudder. They do. They can't, like... My family, they think they can look down the nose over Jesus. Do you know what I mean? The very Judas. I could mention Jesus or whatever to my dad years back, because I know he fucking needs it. And he just scrunched his nose up with envy and scrunched his nose up because he's arrogant, he's pig-headed, darling. And he loves to get lippy to people online, but he didn't know he was getting recorded, Dallas. Yeah, he does. He wants to get other people, these bully boys and mean girls, because they're envious, okay? But they cannot manipulate these good law officials, okay? So maybe they tried to do that. Oh, come on, we'll give you one of these. We'll give you one of these hookers. We'll give you one of these. What have you? Go on. We'll let you have one of these, because maybe that's what they've been doing with some people. Go on, go against them. You can have hair who's riddled with herpes, and you can have hair who's riddled with AIDS, and you can have hair who's got warts. We won't tell you about that. And these corrupt law officials, they've gone for it, and now they've all got herpes and warts and AIDS. That's what I'm getting for some of them. Wow. Their children will be put up for adoption for what they did. Because children do not need to be around these sick fucks who do these sick things. They lied to get black magic done in you and played victim. While they're victimising this masculine or feminine. Because any way, shape or form, they want to have this masculine or feminine tortured to death. Because that's what they do. They torture these victims to death. Because that's what they do. They victimise a lot of people. So family is involved, you know. Fake friends, they love to torture people to death. Want to take everything you have to punish you for no good reason. So they're just punishing this masculine or feminine for no good reason. It's unjustified. It's uncalled for. It's very unjustified. It's very uncalled for. Okay. And maybe it's just all being revealed for being jealous, envious, haters, who just wanted to get lippy and in the mouth about this masculine or feminine, because they was just jealous, because they've been straight up copy and pasting, again, gaslighting, so much abuse, like psychological warfare, because they don't want this masculine or feminine to be in love. And we've got police in reverse, we've got emotional intelligence in reverse, and new beginning in reverse. These corrupt coppers, they won't be having any new beginning, because they've just been slamming sex workers and they didn't care. These corrupt officials, maybe even corrupt military, go on, you go get lippy to them, hate on them, envy them too, all the side pieces, hate on them, envy them too, hate them for me, cause drama for me. Fucking disgusting. So there's a shit ton of fucking sex workers, shit ton, rent boys and all that. There's a shit ton, but they all get recruited. And some of them will just be like, because Freemasons are involved, and they infiltrate all areas, they could actually get police officers' outfit. You know what I mean? They can even get like a doctor looking outfit. They can even get a psychiatrist like looking outfit. They can even get hold of nurses outfits, and they can even get hold of police cars and ambulances and use them to fit their narrative, because they're involved in like crisis actors. So they've been paying a lot of people to act things like, you know, you go, you say that, you say this to them, you say that to them, get them to boat off, and then we'll just drag them out into an ambulance and lock them up in an ambulance and call them an upset. Yeah. Go on, you say this, you say that, get them mad about you lying and bullying, and then if they retaliate, we'll just drag them out in an ambulance. Yeah? And then we'll get them bumped off in the hospital. If they retaliate and stuff online, we'll get them done for cybercrime, or we'll try and flag their account up for doing a hate crime. What you thinking? Yeah. And if anyone says that about us Freemasons, any of these good law officials, and how our family and brotherhood goes, and that we can bump anyone off when we fucking see fit, because we don't want to have our privileged life taken away from us, we'll just say, you're discriminating us. You're discriminating. While they're trying to stitch other people up for crimes. Because, look, 33 there. Because that's what they do. There's somebody who works in like forensics or something like that, where they stitch people up for crimes. And because they work with people in the hospital, like say NHS for example, because I know there's been a lot of corrupt NHS workers coming for me, trying to poison me the lot, they were like, come on, we need to take blood tests and blood samples, and then they can use that blood without you knowing, okay, and then they can use that blood. We've got law firms under investigation, go, come on, we need to do your blood test, alright, and then they'll use that blood, and then what they can do is they can use any random victim, because they need more victims all the time. They're not just going to stick to one victim, are they? They need multiple to feed the devil in them. They can use people's blood to do blood contracts with the devil without people knowing. But because it's like a secret society and they do this in like lodges and stuff like that, how's people going to know? So there is, what I'm getting is there is multiple blood contracts done on people, what they don't know when they go to places like NHS to get their blood samples done, and then they use their blood in blood rituals, blood magic and stuff like that, and the general public, they don't know about it, and a lot of them are not going to know about it unless they're like some sort of a psychic or something like that. Do you know what I mean? How are they going to know? How are they going to know? How are they going to know? Unless they're like a psychic like myself, they're not going to know, are they? But that is what I'm getting. They will do that. They will take your blood samples and then they will use that in hair, blood, nail rituals if they can get hold of your nails, blood contracts with the devil, alright? They've got poverty in reverse because they don't want to see people come out of poverty. They've got force in reverse. They also want to control and occupy people's minds. Like, they do not like free thinkers. They really don't like free thinkers. Okay, they really do. This is what this MK Ultra mind control is about. They just want to twist people's minds and do some right sick shit, let me tell you that. They're real unconcerned about it. But some of them are sat there, these Freemasons. They know they're sick as fuck, alright? And they're just waiting for these good law officials to raid. So they could be trying to barricade themselves in the house or homes because they know they've got all this money and they're not willing to let go of it. And they know they've been making like voodoo dolls and trying to stitch people up for crimes they've not committed by getting like their DNA samples ordered by corrupt law, like they did with me. They took my hair, my blood and my nails and said if I didn't, I'm not going to get to see my kids till 18. And then they did a hair blood and fucking nail ritual. My spirit guides did say don't. But with them saying, and you're not going to get to see your kids unless you do it, and they still won't let me see my 3 youngest at all. And it's been 4 years now, I think, 4 years or more. Could be over 4 years, but it's been 4 years. And they still won't let me see my other kids because they've just been doing back-to-back rituals on me, and like I say, they sacrificed my little teeny tiny baby. So they've just been doing back-to-back rituals on me to keep hold of my wealth, and they want to feed the devil constantly, and they murder children and everything, these Freemasons. They always sacrifice children, they always sacrifice babies, because they're sick as fuck. They're sick as fuck. They're evil. They're evil. But if anyone says anything about the Freemasons, they say that we're discriminating them. But because, like, if you're not willing to bow down to the devil, they discriminate you for not willing to bow down to the devil. It's just shocking. That's why law firms are under investigation, because they've been stitching this masculine or feminine up, like even forensics. Because like I say, all it takes is somebody to say, look, we need to do a blood sample, we need to check your blood and stuff like that, and then they'll just use some sort of fabric or clothes or anything and then squirt blood all over it. And meanwhile, that person's just had a blood sample done, and then they'll drag them up to the court and go, look, your blood's here, this here, is this your clothes, what they've ended up robbing, you know, we've robbed all these clothes from your house and stuff like that, now we're leaving your trainers here, we're leaving a bit of your hair, we forced you to get bicked off at courtroom because they did it to me, we're going to leave your shoes over here, and then we're going to pat, they was there, and they had a mental bout, and everyone in the community, we've all paid them to call them a nutter, because obviously they've done this to me, right, and they tried to end one of my daughters. It's all been premeditated, so they can sedate her so she can't move, and then do horrible things to her and put my ginger hair at the frigging crime scene, so I can't even go back ginger. Because my children's father's going for Etihad Stadium. That's what he wants, Etihad Stadium. And I've had enough but back-to-back rituals done on me, so now it feels. 7 of Wands will have you backed in the corner, but it's all mapped out. People from foreign countries, even foreign doctors, foreign nurses, foreign lawyers, foreign, they'll be making deals with them. Foreign judges, doctors, go on, we'll get you a real nice posh car. So there is like foreign doctors, foreign lawyers, judges, psychiatrists, also involved. Come on, you can sit here and act like Billy Big Bollocks with me. Come on, act Billy Big Bollocks. Devil worshippers. Very 3D, Baphomet rituals. They do Baphomet rituals. It's disgusting. And any psychics or what have you who know about that, they want to just boot them. To cab. I'm bigger than you. And if I want to run you down the fucking round and round in the mill and all that, and if I want to get inside of your house, your room, and get you locked up in prison, alright, and steal all your work, or I'll get you dragged out of your house, alright, dragged you in the fucking hospital, get you killed off, we'll keep it a secret, it'll be like finding a needle in a haystack, alright, we'll all cover each other's back, and then they will go on in, and they will rob people's studies, and people's work, okay, and just keep doing that, and I've had it done to me, where they will literally drag me out of my house, and then they'll get lippy to you online, start an argument with these fake ass frigging friends, and then they'll either call the police, Nino, fucking ambulance, all that fucking shit, and they'll just literally run you through the mill out of jealousy, out of spite, but because they're all devil worshippers, they can't get out of worshipping the devil. So yeah, there's bad news for them. They just wanted to get up fucking on ladder, property ladder. They wanted to buy their own house, and they wanted to buy a plot of land and stuff. So they did. Look, I can't make it up. They made deals with the devil. Fucking hell, that's bad, isn't it? Just for a bit of brick and whatever, or a plot of fucking land, okay? They're disgusting. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. But a deal with the devil, it never lasts. They're going to be heartbroken when their bank account's shut down, and if the offshore overseas account, they're going to be like, no, I can't believe it. I'm going to go back into poverty. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. Yeah, because time's running out. Eight of Swords are going to get locked up in prison. They're not going to be able to tug people's identity and full life off them when they're locked up in prison, are they? Because a deal with the devil never lasts, and the devil is ready to collect. The devil's ready to collect. So I'm going to leave it there. That's a long reading. Long reading. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sending peace, love and light.